News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moskow.
Karen, we begin with the latest on President Trump's trip to Asia. He is now in South Korea ahead of tomorrow's crucial meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. At an APEC CEO summit, the president touted the close relationship between the U.S. and South Korea.
We're partners. We're serious partners. We're wedded. And we have a very special relationship, a special bond. In fact, we're working with you on shipbuilding, where you're going to come in. We were the #1 in the world during World War II. We produced a ship a day. Can you believe it?
And on his way to Korea, the president predicted he would lower tariffs on Chinese goods over fentanyl. And he also said he'll speak with President Xi about access to NVIDIA's Blackwell AI chip. That would be a major concession if it is included in a trade deal. Ahead of tomorrow's meeting, China booked its first purchases of U.S. soybeans this season. Sources tell Bloomberg at least 2 shipments are booked for delivery later this year. In exchange, the U.S. is holding off on threatened software export controls against China. A White House official says Presidents Trump and Xi will meet mid-morning tomorrow, though the exact timing has yet to be determined.
Well, Nathan, in Washington, it is now day 29 of the government shutdown. If it extends to day 31 this Friday, members of the military will start to miss paychecks. Vice President J.D. Vance says he thinks the Trump administration can work around that.
We do think that we can continue paying the troops, at least for now, but we've got food stamp benefits that are set to run out in a week. We're trying to keep as much open as possible. We just need the Democrats to actually help us out.
And Vice President Vance spoke after a meeting with Republican senators on Capitol Hill. He's not saying how the troops would be paid. Meantime, 25 states, including New York and the District of Columbia, are suing the Trump administration over expiring food stamp benefits. They're arguing the White House must use nearly $6 billion in contingency funds to keep the program running as long as possible.
Let's turn to the Fed now, Karen. Jay Powell and company are widely expected to cut rates for a second straight meeting later today, but will there be more cuts ahead? Bloomberg's Michael McKee is in Washington with a preview.
For Wall Street, today's meeting is less about what's now than it is about what's next. A 0.25 percentage point rate cut is baked into markets. What investors want to know is, are further cuts coming, perhaps as soon as December? That's going to be a tricky question for the Fed and Chair Jay Powell. They're not providing new economic forecasts at this meeting, and there's not much data these days on how the economy is performing. We may get some indication of which way policymakers are leaning if there are significant dissents, either to cut more or stand still. Traders will also be watching for an announced end to QT, the Fed's balance sheet runoff. Michael McKee, Bloomberg Radio.
All right, Michael, thank you. In addition to that Fed decision, investors will also be looking forward to earnings from a trio of big tech powerhouses. And Bloomberg's John Tucker joins us with a preview. John, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Karen. Yeah, today we're going to hear from Microsoft, Meta Platforms, and Google parent Alphabet. And that's where Aaron Kessler of Seaport Securities is focused.
We think Google's probably benefiting the most right now from AI, both on its Google Cloud platform, as well as leveraging AI for advertising as well.
And investors trying to figure out whether the billions that have been poured into computing infrastructure will keep flowing and ultimately deliver returns. Well, the Magnificent Seven Group is projected to deliver profit growth of 14% in the third quarter. That's nearly twice the 8% expected profit growth for the broader S&P 500. But also would be the slowest pace since the first quarter of 2023. Apple and Amazon, they open their books to investors tomorrow. In New York, I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
Thanks, John. And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moskow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.